The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Voice is Clown.
Not Clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You unlock this door with the...
I forgot to turn that off. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 208, I believe. 208 or 209, I can't remember. I think it's 208. But welcome to 208, episode 208 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. I am riding solo today. Nate is in the process of moving out of his apartment and finding a new place to live. So it will be me probably solo here. Oh, wait, no. I do have somewhat of a show announcement, and that is that we will be having a guest host while Nate is getting situated in his new living quarters. And that guest host will be Blaine from Comic Club podcast. And he's a friend of the show. I had him as my first guest on Secret Origin, on the Secret Origin podcast. And so Blaine will be joining us, I don't believe next weekend, but the weekend after. He will be our guest host while Nate gets situated in his new living situation. So, but welcome all that are watching this live and all that are watching this as a past episode. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for the support. And yeah, a pretty short week this week. I only had 4 books. There were some other books out there, but I only had 4. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good week. I think it was a quick week, but it was a fun week. But before we get to that, let's talk about our show's sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games in the DFW area. That's right, that is the OG LCS where this whole podcast got kicked off. It's where me and Nate picked up our books, our first books, and Ron and Brent have an amazing shop down in the DFW area. They have one in Fort Worth and one in Keller or Hearst, sorry. And they have curated an amazing collection down there. So if you're ever in the DFW area and you're looking for a comic book store to check out, go check out Collected Comics and Games first. They've got an amazing collection. They've got comic books, back issues, new issues, collected editions, omnibus, hardcovers, trades, action figures, models, trading cards, Warhammer, D&D, anything you can think of, even plushies. They've got everything over there. So if you're in the area, go check them out. If you're not, they also have a website called staycollected.com where you can get all that stuff that I just talked about and more. Store exclusives, cover exclusive, artist exclusives. It's a really good time. So go check out staycollected.com or head on over to Collected in the DFW area. It's a great place to go check out some cool stuff. So also we're on the road to 1,250 subscribers. And that's right, guys. I unpacked my slabs, finally, even though we're probably going to move out of this apartment in about a couple months. But anyway, when we hit 1,250 subscribers, we're giving away this bad boy. Let's see if I can get it without a glare. Okay, I'm giving this away. We're giving this away. It's a Uncanny X-Men issue number 1, CGC grade 9.8, signed by the cover artist Jim Chung. We'll be giving this away when we hit 1,250 subscribers. In order to get it, you just have to sub to the show, and then we'll give it away on a live. It's pretty freaking awesome. We have some other sub goal giveaways after we hit that goal, but when we hit 2,000 subs, giving away another signed slab, and that is Thor number 1 Nick Klein sketch variant signed by the great Donnie Cates, 9.8 CGC grade. So we'll be giving this away when we hit 2,000 subs. That's right. I showed up. I brought out the goods. It is here. Thank goodness. I finally, I'm no longer lazy, and I was able to find the slabs and get them opened for y'all so you can see what we're giving away. Anyway, what's up, Phil? John, how are you doing? So like I said, pretty short week, running solo. Nate is going to be out for a little bit of time trying to find a new place to live. But once he's back and running, he'll be here, and we'll be back to normal. But we will have Blaine from Comic Club Podcast as our guest host for a little bit, taking his place, running live shows with me, and running new comic book day videos as well. So be prepared for that. It's going to be awesome. Blaine's a really cool guy. He's helping us out in a pinch, and can't wait for him to jump on the show. John coming in with a super chat. We got my top 3 was TMNT, and that's it. I only got 5 books this week, so I picked up the 1 in 50 ASM cover, Amazing Spider-Man cover, featuring Black Cat. Nice. I need to look that up. I did not pick up. Was that this week or was that last week? Amazing Spider-Man was last week, right? I don't remember. I know I wasn't getting caught. I looked at it for a minute. I looked at ASM for a minute, and then I was like, nope. Not doing it. I'm not getting suckered in. But John, that's awesome, dude. I'll have to check out that cover. TMNT, nice. That's the one by Jason Aaron, right? I believe so. All right, let's go ahead and just jump into the show. It's a short one. Kicking it off with DC, and we got Absolute Flash, issue number 2, from Jeff Lemire. Yo, this was good. I am still vibing with Absolute Flash. I had a really good time with this one. It still feels very indie, except for the ending. I didn't find the ending. It felt like we kind of jumped into the DC antics a little bit. And some people might like that. Some people might not. But overall, I'm still digging the art style of the book. Last week, but still, okay, gotcha, John. But I'm still digging it. I'm y'all know my view on Absolute series. I'm absolutely in love with them. I'm just not, I don't know. The current continuity line for me is just not working for me, and that's okay. But Absolute is. So I'm glad that I'm still being involved with DC without completely dropping everything. So, and I still got some DC titles that aren't necessarily in the Absolute line, but I am digging Absolute pretty much all the way. So Absolute Flash for me, number 2, was really fun. I loved the continuation of the art style, the mystery of him jumping around in time. I think that's probably that's the coolest. I believe the coolest mechanic in this current story is this Wally jumping, like he can't figure out what timeline he's in while he's jumping. Is he in the past? Is he in the present? Is he in the future? We got a little glimpse of that. We see 2 versions of him, kind of a villainous monster version and then the hero version. But I don't know, man. I like the vibe. I think it feels very much like an indie comic rather than a superhero comic. And I'm sure we'll get there. We're going to get to that point where it'll feel like a superhero comic, and that's okay. But I think Jeff Lemire has done a good job of taking the liberties of really doing something a little different. Now, I could be sounding like a total jackass, and there's people that are like really into DC and going like, this has been done before. This isn't all that new. It's kind of stale. I get that. But for me, it's inviting. It's fun. It's fresh. Issue 2 continued that pacing, except for the ending. When they showed the monkey, I was kind of like, okay, sure. Like the monkey they were experiencing on the first issue. And if anybody knows if there's any significance to that, let me know. But I didn't, outside of them it being experimented on the first issue, that's the only callback I got. So if I'm missing something, let me know. But either way, Absolute Flash was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Not my pick of the week, but pretty dang close. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So we'll keep moving on. All right, our last DC book for the night, or at least for me, was New Gods, or The New Gods, issue number 5. And talk about a red herring. This Enter the Justice League Unlimited, I felt like, I don't know if there's, I know there's this big event going on right now, or crossover event with Justice League Unlimited and World's Finest. And I really hope this isn't in like reading orders, like they have like, oh, you need to pick up all these books to make sure that you're completely in tune with the event, because Superman's literally at the last panel of the book. So if you wash that part out, which I didn't necessarily have a problem with, I think I had more of a problem with this might be an interference of Justice League Unlimited, and it really wasn't. This is my pick of the week. This is my pick of the week. I loved it. I loved the lore. I I gotta hit the button.
Yes, Chips. Pick of the week.
I loved the lore at the beginning and kind of like the step up and the back history of someone essentially going to be being killed off. I thought the artwork was awesome. The moments in this were awesome. It's crescendoing really quickly. I mean, we're in the 5th issue and we're already kind of feeling like we're at the climax of it. But man, this thing was awesome. I liked it. I can't really explain more about it because I don't want to give too much away. But I just think aesthetically and also narrative-wise, Ram V is just killing it. And that's very rare for me to say about a DC book. So, because that's not my origin, right? I'm still trying to get into it. But the New Gods for me has just been so much fun. And 5 issues in, I don't want it to end. I think if this ever comes out in a hardcover, I'm buying it. This is so good. Oh, by the way, just a little tangent. I picked up the Treasury edition of freaking Doom. This thing is sick. I picked it up at Hall of Justice. Shout out Hall of Justice. This thing is sick. If you have the opportunity to find this, pick it up, man. It is beautiful. Plus the story is so good. I know that's a tangent, and we're not really talking about Marvel right now, but I just wanted to say that I picked it up. What up, Patty? Happy Easter. What's up, Jaden? But yeah, New Gods, really good. We're getting into this moment of F around and find out, right? With the New Gods and them going after this child who is potentially a new god, and they wanted to kill it off, and now it looks like it might be the savior of the New Gods on New Genesis because they're being attacked by this alien race that seems to be invincible or they can't be hurt by their powers. So it's getting kind of crazy. I don't know the full extent of the lore of the New Gods, so I might be missing some things, but I think that's why it's such a good book, because Ram is writing in this style that I don't feel like you really need to know all of the New Gods to really enjoy this book. So I would assume if you're a huge fan of the New Gods, then you're probably vibing with this book even more. So it's my pick of the week. I love it, and I'm gonna give it a what's up. Just because I like pushing that button. But anyway, it's my pick of the week, and yeah, I had a great time with it. John, I agree with Jim. I have those Doom comics. Great. It was a great. That thing is awesome. I'm so glad I picked it up. I was watching somebody on TikTok talk about how like that Treasury edition is really awesome, but why the Beta Ray Bill Daniel Warren Johnson series doesn't have a Treasury release. And I totally agree. So I'm going to start a petition that the Daniel Warren Johnson Beta Ray Bill run needs a Treasury edition. So let's get that happening, guys. Put that in the chat. Let's tag Marvel, tag Daniel Warren Johnson, and make that happen, because I think that totally needs to happen. It's a crime that hasn't already happened. By the way, is anybody or are people watching WrestleMania right now? I'm crazy. I'm shocked that I'm even saying that. But I turned it on before the show, and freaking Joe Henry showed up. Henry showed up against Randy Orton, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was so funny. I've been watching it. I think TikTok has influenced me, because I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid, completely fell out of it, and then like I'm just like completely enamored with it right now, and I kind of hate that. At the same time, I love it. So, yep, the Beta Ray Bill run was fantastic. Yeah, let's get it into a Treasury edition. It should be happening. It should have already happened. It should be on my bookshelf. Why not? And if you haven't read it and you're watching the show, go read it. It's freaking awesome. All right, jumping over to Marvel. We've got Cable, Love, and Chrome, issue number 4 from David Pepos. This, hold on. So Holden says, howdy, happy Easter to those who celebrate. Anyone are here heading to the Dallas Comic Show next weekend? Man, that sucks. I know that there's going to be one here in Dallas. There's going to be a fan expo that I'm going to go to. No, not Dallas, in Denver. But yeah, that sounds awesome. I wonder if Nate might be going. But anyway, Cable, Love, and Chrome, issue number 4. Enjoyed it. Saw it coming from a mile away. That's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. But we know now that Cicada, spoiler, is the the love interest. Cable, he did it to himself, right? He did the thing where he time traveled too much, and he messed up the timeline to the point where he created his own enemy, and we were all wondering who Cicada was going to be, and now we find out that it's his love interest, and I can't remember her name, but it was predictable, but I thought it was still enjoyable. Like the minute he started time jumping or time sliding, I was like, yep, she's the bad guy. And so now the part here where it'll be unpredictable, or where David Pepos will flip the narrative and or reshape it, will be how does Cicada and how does Cable get Cicada out? How does he switch the timeline where she doesn't become this bad guy? And it's clear that it does happen, because in one of the timeless whatever books that came out last year or the beginning of this year, that was showing like events in Marvel, like upcoming in Marvel, they're together. So I would assume that he's able to somehow save her from this fate of being a villain. But we'll have to wait and see. But I really enjoyed it. I am enjoying this series. Anytime I can get a David Pepos written book, I'm picking it up. I'm picking up Captain America, or not Captain America, Captain Planet from Dynamite when it comes out. He's writing that. Space Ghost ends, I think, in 2 weeks, so that kind of sucks. But getting Captain Planet. So if there's ever an opportunity to pick up a David Pepos book, I'm doing it. And Cable has been one of those books. I kind of want it to continue. I want him to continue to rewrite Cable. I think he does a really good job. I think he's really proficient in finding or in writing in Cable's voice, and I want more. We'll see if that happens. Well, really, if I had a David Pepos X book in general, I think I would love it, no matter who it was. But he's really killing it on Cable. So whatever that's worth, guys. And I apologize. This is a short week because there's only 4 books and it's just me talking. What else is everybody else's pick of the week? Jaden, Patty, Holden, what are y'all's pick of the week? Let me know. Let me know in the chat what you guys picked or what you read. Or Phil, if you're still here, let me know. Or anybody else in the chat, let me know what you picked this week or what you enjoyed the most this week while you were reading. While we went on that, we got our last book of the night. We have Ultimate Wolverine, issue number 4. It wasn't a miss, but I didn't really enjoy the first half of this book, which was like dialogue of something happening outside of this hallucination with Wolverine fighting essentially, I believe, Sabretooth, as a bear. It was, I don't know. I could have done with like 4 or 5 panels or 4 or 5 pages of that fight, like, because it just kind of got a little trudgy, a little redundant. I kind of figured it out 3 pages in. But in the Thor book did the same thing. The Ultimates did the same thing, where we kind of did this like experimental way of telling a story, and there's nothing wrong with it, but if it didn't work for me. But when we finally got out of the hallucination of the wolf fighting the bear, and we got into like the actual like meat of what happened, which is in issue 3, we had Logan get his brain kind of scrambled by Shadowcat or Kitty Pryde, and kind of jostled his memory, so he kind of remembered who he really was. And so we've got the Soviets trying to get him back in order, get back into the Winter Soldier protocol, and they pull an ace out of their sleeve, which is they have Jean Grey the Phoenix captive, and at their will her telekinesis to scramble Logan's brain, and they also have the spine and brain of Xavier behind her, which was like that's pretty crazy. So the back half of this book I thought was very entertaining. The front end, where we were, the dialogue was the stuff going outside of Logan and them trying to scramble his brain. and then the fight with the bear and the wolf, I don't know. It was a little too long. I think they could have shortened it up a bit. It felt repetitive. So the Ultimate books have kind of, I wouldn't say are on a downtrend. I wouldn't say that in the slightest, but I do believe that some of the creative liberties that they've been taking in the past 2 issues feel like it feels like they're running out of steam. And I know that's not the case. I'm just saying the way they read, it was kind of like, well, it doesn't feel like it's progressing the story, even though it is, because it was so trudgy. So, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the book once we got out of the hallucination or memory or spirit animal fight, if you want to call it that. Getting over to chat, Joe. Hey, everyone watching WrestleMania, but want to say hey and say Ultimate Wolverine is my pick of the week. Right on. John, I would love Peppo's Midnight Sun or Doctor Strange book. Ooh, don't even. Joe, Godzilla vs. Hulk was fun. I love how they feel like Silver Age style writing. Nice. 3/4 of this book was we're sedating him. Why is he looking at me? Survivor. While the wolf and the bear fight. I agree that I liked the Phoenix thing at the end. That was pretty crazy. Peppo's Hulk Annual was fun. Like to see him on it next. Hell yeah. Maker needs to come back and tie these books together. I think it's coming, John. I really do. Joe, what did you think of the Joe Henry thing? I saw that right before I started the stream. That was freaking awesome. I thought that was funny as hell. It was genuine too. I like that a lot. Yeah, John, I think that's coming. I think we're in for that. I don't know if Hickman's going to be involved. I would love if Donny Cates was involved, but Camp is doing such a fantastic job, right? Like his weaving of these stories. Like I know we're getting very close to Peach Momoko's X-Men jumping into Ultimates, and we've got that Miles Morales book that they're going to be jumping in. Like everyone's jumping into. I can't wait for that. So like we've got some stuff coming up that I think are going to be, I think the ultimate line of comics are primed. I think what I'm really nervous about when it comes to the Ultimate line is how, when the inevitable happens, when the Ultimate continuity is going to smash into the main continuity. If I had to place faith into whether Ultimates or Absolute is going to do it better, I feel like Ultimates is, but I'm jaded, right? Because I'm a Marvel fan, and I'm just still getting my feet wet with DC, even though it's been like 4 years. But I don't know. I feel like Marvel will tie these things better than DC. I feel like DC may rush it, but who knows? I could be wrong. I kind of hope I am, because I'm loving Absolute that much. But we'll have to wait and see. John, yeah, Camp is doing good things. Holden's coming in. My favorite of the bunch was Empath. I can't say that. Empath from the Abyss 9, which included a baseball horror story combining 2 things I love. Nice. Joe, I'm really hoping for The Rock or Brock Lesnar, so I was disappointed. Oh, I see. I know he's an independent darling, but it's WrestleMania, so they should have went bigger. I could see that. I totally get that, but I also liked. I can't wait for Joe Henry to become like a thing in WWE. And how am I saying that, Joe? You know me. I haven't watched wrestling in forever, and suddenly I'm watching it. I don't get it. Empath came out this week. I must have missed it. I have to have every issue. Hey, well, glad you tuned in, so you saw that coming in. But yeah, anyway. So everybody that's here, that was our last book of the night. Everyone that's here that probably wasn't at the beginning, just to let you know, Nate is moving into he's trying to find a new place to live, so he's going to be kind of hopping around. So he won't have his setup. So he's going to be off the show for a little bit, taking a break. That's not a bad thing. He's just trying to find a new place to live. And while that's going on, we will have a guest host sometime, or some of the times, but mainly most of the time. And that'll be Blaine from the Comic Club podcast. I had him on the first episode of Secret Origins, so just be prepared for that. He's a great guy. He's going to help fill in the void while Nate's trying to find a place to live. So he'll be here on live shows, and he'll be here for New Comic Book Day videos. It's going to be great when he can. I'm not, when he comes in, he comes in. And it's going to be awesome. But can't wait for him to jump on and hang out with us while Nate finds a new spot. Let's get back to chat here. Only Ultimate book I've been reading is X-Men. Hope I don't get too confused if they combine the Ultimate stories. It's possible. Heap tafts. Gotcha. John, Evangelion conversation incoming. I just got caught up. Was a week behind with weeks behind my polls. I can't read today, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's probably in my stack somewhere. Joe, I'm reading Hickman's new space saga. It spins out of X-Men Hunt event. I will be. I wasn't going to, and Nate was pissed at me that I wasn't going to. But I'm going to because of the Xavier and his wife involvement. I'm kind of all in on that. So yeah, I wasn't going to though. I was like, nope, I'm out. Anything to do with gods and this or that and the other, which I think they'll probably show up somewhere. I just, but I have been told that I wasn't supposed to get gods. I never was. No one gets it, and it's just something that they're going to build on, and that's great. But I just felt betrayed by Marvel and the way they kind of marketed it. But I will be checking out the Hickman thing. What is it called? What is it called? It starts with an I, right? I can't remember. But I'm going to check it out. After that, man, even though I was not happy with the execution of X-Men Hunt, I thought the story was fun. And the ending, with Xavier going out into the cosmos, I thought was really cool. Yep, Hulk is in it. She-Hulk's in it. I'm in on that. Hardcore. So isn't his son in that too? I believe so. But yeah, I'm going to check it out. I just hope I know I won't get disappointed. I've only been disappointed by Hickman twice, and that's when he decided to dip on X-Men and Gods. I was just not into it. John, Jim, do you guys read Saga? And if not, what do I have to do to get you to read it? I don't read it, but I've been told I need to. In our interview with Blair, which I still haven't edited, and I'm sorry guys, I just been so busy with work. That's like the book that got her like into comics. She's got all of them. So, yeah, I need to read it. I'll figure it out, John. At some point I will. Joe, I love Gods. Wonderful, dude. Wonderful. I can't speak tonight. Wonderful love story. Imperial, that's right. Love story. Wonderful love story. Yeah, I liked that part of Gods. I think what just frustrated me with Gods is that it the way it was hyped up by Marvel, and just kind of like this idea that I felt like I needed to know something the whole time, when in reality we didn't know anything, and it was a completely brand new story with familiar elements from Hickman. And I think my expectations were just in a completely different spot than they needed to be. So maybe I should reread it. I'm sure, Blaine and Nate both would say I need to reread it. So maybe I should. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's show. I know it's short and sweet. We only had 4 books. You caught up on Daredevil Born Again. Dude, what is going on? Am I having a stroke? You caught up on Daredevil Born Again. It's so freaking good. I've heard that. I have not watched it. I probably will. I've been wrapped up in Marvel Rivals. But I do need to read. I do need to watch it. I've seen enough clips on TikTok that I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I not watching this? There's a lot of shows that I need to. I don't watch a lot of TV. I mean, I consume more YouTube than I do TV. So I need to get into it. I did see the Kingpin thing where he did the bad thing. crushing someone's head right there, right on cue. There's John. I need to watch it. I need to figure it out. But yeah, I know it's good. Though I've seen people like complain about it. Do you want me to go on a rant? Chat, let me know if you want it. If you want me to go on a rant while I close out the show, you let me know. But thanks guys for watching. There'll be another fresh new comic book day video coming out on Tuesday, and then we'll be back here live. Born Again was so good. Right on. Here's my rant. Okay. I'm surprised how Disney is going full rated R with it. I mean, go for it, right? Like let's rock and roll. Here's my rant. I am getting a little tired of people just like losing their mind, losing their shit on shows that haven't come out yet or movies that haven't come out yet. I feel like that was on full display with the Minecraft movie. I thought that movie was fun. I had a great time with it. Took my boys to it, and it was just a silly goose time. Felt like a Minecraft version of Nacho Libre. Rant. And I think the same thing kind of happened with Daredevil Reborn. Like, there were people that were like, oh, this is gonna suck, or oh, they're doing the same thing that they did over on Netflix. They're not doing anything new. It's falling into the same trope. Then don't watch it. Don't watch it. There are shows that come out that I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that, and I'm not gonna talk about it either. I'm not in it for the clout. I'm not gonna talk about it. All right. It's the same thing with Daredevil Reborn or Daredevil Born. Yeah, Reborn. Ah, man, Daredevil Born again. Like if it frustrates you that they're not doing anything new or they're falling into the trope of the Netflix series, then don't watch it and don't talk about it. Stop. Right? You want to hear one thing that I'm like, another thing that I'm frustrated with? The Tron, what's the new Tron movie called? The new Tron movie that's coming out with the singer from 30 Seconds to Mars or whatever he is. People are pissed off about that. A trailer comes out and you're like, this movie looks great except for that guy, except for that singer. And I'm like, I watched that trailer. It looks freaking awesome. I'm glad that Tron is finally getting its due and finally getting another sequel to the sequel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just glad we're getting Tron because I'm a huge Tron fan. And if you can't handle there being a actor in it, then yeah, right. That should be a shirt, Holden. Don't yuck someone else's yum. 100%. Patty, I'm excited for Thunderbolts, but I gotta watch it first before I really know what I think. Exactly. That's just common sense, right? That's just common sense. If you want to watch something or you want to talk about something, watch it first. And then if it sucks and you want to still talk about it, fine, go for that. But dude, don't piss on it before it even comes out. How many people lost their fucking minds over that Minecraft movie trailer? Like, give me a break. There you go. Fantastic Four. People are losing their fucking minds because of Shia LaBeouf as Silver Surfer. Just go watch it. Go watch it before you don't know. And if it really ticks you that off that a female is a Silver Surfer, you're not. Go away. Like, get over it. Either don't watch it or shut up. That's all I have to say. That's my hot take. That's my rant, which I feel like is just common sense, in my opinion. As long as we get Norrin Rad eventually, I think we will, John. I don't see why we wouldn't. To me, it's a dead giveaway that we're gonna get Norrin Rad because his wife is Silver Surfer right now, and we know if you do your due diligence and you do your research, she's in the comics, and how she gets there, like it is so stupid that people are pissed off about it. Like, either go watch it and then be mad about it, or don't watch it at all, or go watch it and don't talk about it. Just shut up. Shut up. What up, neighborhood? Coming in with the chat. Hold on, I gotta get rid of this notification. I can't wait for Thunderbolts. I can't wait for it either. I can't wait for any Marvel movie or Star Wars show or Disney Tron or whatever. Like, the Fantastic Four trailer looked amazing. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, right? That's what we teach our kids. I think a couple people around here can learn a thing or two about that. You know, if you got nothing to say, nice to say, don't say it at all. Just chill. Go drink a Coke, some water, touch some grass. Can't get enough of Red Guardian. It's gonna be dope, guys. It's gonna be so much fun. I don't want that smoke. I haven't seen that movie. I've heard bad things, but again, I'm not gonna talk about it because I haven't seen it. So, I think Fantastic Four is gonna be good, though, guys. I think Fantastic Four is going. I think Thunderbolts is gonna be great. I think Fantastic Four is gonna be awesome. And I don't think Marvel really has gone anywhere. I know it's kind of a lull, but I think everything's gonna work out, guys. I think everything's gonna tie together, and it's gonna feel good. And people that stuck with it are gonna feel rewarded. That's what I think. And if it doesn't come out that way, well, so what? We still got movies to go see. We got to chill in the theater and watch it. Or at home, wherever you watch your movies. John, Galactus stomping through the streets, the void, disappearing peeps, exciting times, 100%. Can't predict which movie will be bigger, Superman or Fantastic Four. Ooh, that's hard. I think the Superman movie is going to be freaking awesome. And I know there are people that are losing their shit on that movie too. It's like, grow up. Just go watch it, and if you don't, then don't. If I had to bet though, Neighborhood, I kind of feel like Superman might be a bigger movie. Just because of the state of DC. And just how much in shambles it's been before Gunn got there. And it needs that uplifting, right? We need that competition, right? We need that lack of, get rid of the monopoly and have some decent competition between DC and Marvel. So I think Superman's it may be better. Or it might have more hype. Because of the fact that DC is in such a disarray, and that's why Gunn was brought on in the first place, was to fix the wrongs, fix the lack of creative vision, and more of just board members having creative oversight and ruining movies. So there's another hot take. They need the world video portals in front of the movie theaters around the world for people to talk after movies or just be pumped up. I get that. Yeah, that'd be dope. Totally down. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. I'm glad I went on that little mini rant. But I'm glad all y'all are here to hang out with me for this 4-book week. So short. But next week is full, man. We are chocked next week. We got some bangers. It's gonna be hard, I think, for pick of the week. There's some solid books next week, so be ready for that for New Comic Book Day. I might be solo, but Blaine might be here. I have to look at the calendar. I know he's coming in on the last New Comic Book Day for April, and if that's this coming week, then he's coming on next week. If not, it's the week after. So be prepared for that. It's gonna be awesome. Blaine's a good dude, and I'm just really glad that he was able to help out and pinch hit for Nate while he's trying to find a new spot to live in. So thanks again, guys. Let me take this one last chat from Joe. I'm excited for all superhero films. I already give DC and Marvel so much of my money, so I feel like I'm a shareholder. 100%. That is awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you guys live, or not, we'll catch you guys live next Sunday, but also we'll catch you for New Comic Book Day this coming Tuesday. And it's a good week, man. There's some really good books coming up next week. So as always, comic fam, be kind to one another. And read more comics. Catch you guys live next Sunday and on Tuesday. Later, guys. Yeah, we are shareholders. We buy the comics. Like, we literally should. That's right. We're shareholders. No problem, John. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for the super chat again. Catch you guys tomorrow or next week. Yeah. I think I'm dehydrated. I think that's why I can't talk. Later, guys.